Hello?
Hey! Oh, thank God, you're back.
Yeah, I'm found again.
So, how was Lombok?
Well, let me tell you. Not less than 30 years ago, barely a tourist has set foot on Lombok Island. And even now, as an island of farmers you might say, it still feels like stepping back in time. There's only a handful of places in the world that I feel at home, and this island has welcomed me truly. In fact, today I've been invited to a wedding, an awe-inspiring event anywhere in the world, but in Indonesia, it reaches new heights. They say that beauty is in the eye of the beholder. Well, in Indonesia's case, I think I'd be hard-pressed to find anyone who doesn't find the landscapes, customs, and the people of these islands truly enchanting. And Lombok is no exception. And things, they really matter here. Ritual, community, love, even bridges. In fact, I guess you could describe all of those things as bridges. A bridge to deity, to your soulmate, and to the others around you. This world needs bridges. And luckily for me, and I hope you too, I get to tell this story about one. So how did I end up in Ciri? Well, that's an interesting question. I'm almost tempted to say fate, as I felt like it a bit. But I suppose, and on reflection, the interesting part isn't about how I found this village, but it's about why I stayed. There's just so much activity here. You feel like you're in a bustling city, although each of these neighbouring villages has only one road. Everyone feels interconnected. It's something I recognise from growing up in a village myself, but see it diminishing in a modernising world. Lembasari and Kakate are like binary stars. And the gravity in this scenario, the social adhesive that connects and supports everyone here, is having access to the mosque, the school, and the market. But tragically, just 1 year ago, that connection was severed.
Kondisi yang ada di sekitaran Ayat Kireneng, jadi kondisi airnya semakin meluap, guys.
In just 4 hours, the region of Sari received an entire year's worth of rain. Families were forced from their homes, as were either swept away or reduced to rubble and driftwood, and local businesses were completely wiped out. And to finish, the sheer force of the water ripped apart and demolished the only bridge linking the two villages with the mosque, school, and market the residents so deeply relied on. 400 homes and 400 families were shattered that day in December. Roads and water pipes were damaged from landslides, with many homes buried deep in mud and debris. Rice paddies also suffered the same fate. The width of the river doubled in size, washing away all the houses that lay on its banks, including the workshop of the local tailor. I would hear more stories from residents about how the floods claimed their houses, businesses and possessions, including from one family who had lost almost everything, if not for their teenage son. I remember as a child having daydreams about being in a natural disaster, wondering how I would face it and the thrill of putting my mind and body through the ultimate test of survival. But after listening to the reality of this bizarre fantasy, it's not a test you'd want to fail. For 2 months, the family lived and slept underneath the roof of the market until they were given temporary accommodation behind the stalls, though the lease of this land is up next month. The government will build them a house for free, though the caveat is that they must buy the land underneath it first. But despite this, the family are happy that they have each other and see the event as divine intervention, a life lesson devised by Mother Nature herself. And the evidence of this is when, just weeks after the flooding, the whole family joined the rest of the community to help rebuild the bridge. You see, when you look across the island of Lombok, an old tradition still persists in the rural fringes, villages, and in the minds of the people. It's known as gotong royong, and it means working together for the benefit of the community. It's a selfless action that supports those around you and forms a strong bond between everyone in society. And for the villages of Lembasari and Kakate, the residents couldn't wait for government inaction and set about building their beloved bridge themselves. Gotong royong really did save Kakate and Gunung Sari, and it wasn't only the adults who got involved. After days of carrying buckets of sand and water on their heads, the local children can once again run across the bridge to play football with their friends. Better than that, a new community centre was built out of the waste plastic from the flooding debris, which was collected and reformed into eco-bricks. Sustainability classes are now taught here, one of many new ongoing community schemes. The market also got its customers back, and if not for the new bridge, villagers from Lombok, Ciri would have had to make a 45-minute round trip just to grab groceries, costing families unnecessary money in fuel. And the mosque, arguably the most important pillar, is accessible to all again and works closely with the local school, hosting inter-village events and talks that reinforce not only strong family values, but strong community ones too. As a teenager, when entering into the working world, I wrote the quote, "If you're not learning, you're not living," on the top of my CV. And this is why I stayed to tell the story. I relearned the feeling of happiness, of what it means to be a part of a community that not only cares for each other, but for the other groups around them and for outsiders just passing through. I think gotong royong is a necessary, important message in this developing world, as countries are modernizing, and that's a good thing, but with it comes individualism and tribalism, tearing us all apart. So apply a little gotong royong in your life, because after all, and if you think about it, gotong royong is the having, building, and sharing of love.
Come on, mommy.